In this QD3000 tutorial video, we're going to look at the process for using the individual volumes calculation mode in the event that we encountered some sort of a problem while mixing the batch. We got part of the way through the batch and we need to recover from that once we solve the problem in order to continue to finish what needs to be put in the sprayer. So to begin with, we'll say, let's go ahead and say we're going to mix an 800-gallon batch in our normal calculation mode. So it calculates the totals. I just have two products, or it looks like I have 3 products in this particular batch. So I have that set up. So we'll go ahead and start, and we'll allow it to put in its 20 gallons of preload. Then it's going to switch, move on to the first product in the batch. We see that it's putting in, I'm going to let it put in about 12 gallons or so of this product. At that point in time, then I'm just going to stop it. Perhaps we had to hit the e-stop switch for some reason. So I'll go ahead and push stop. We've paused the batch. And we see that we got in 8.5 gallons of the 20 that we needed. Now, in the scenario that it's a very simple problem to fix, I would just leave the controller in this state and then press resume when I'm ready to go. But sometimes we end up in a situation where we need to terminate this batch before we're able to solve the problem and then come back and ultimately load the sprayer. So that's what we would do. In this situation, we got 64 gallons of water in and 8.5 gallons of our atrazine before we had to shut the batch down. So we fixed that problem, and now we need to recover and go ahead and load the rest of the sprayer. So in this situation, I can still see what I got in of that batch. In some situations, we might have actually had to power down the controller. We might not be able to see what we had put in on our run screen. If that's the case, we would start by transitioning over to our history. And if it's the last batch that we just loaded, it's going to provide us that same information right here. So you see we're at 64.8 and we got in 8.5 gallons. So what I would do is might just make a note of those numbers. I would transition back to my job screen. And in this batch, we know we need 762 gallons of carrier, 20 gallons of product 1, 16.3, and 2.5. So I would then transition to make note of those numbers. I would transition here to my individual volumes calculation mode. Now this column changes from the rate per acre to the actual volume that we are going to put in the batch. So we just simply make adjustments to this column that reflect what already went into the sprayer. If I get my calculator out here just to make sure that I do the math right, we need 761.2 gallons of water, and we got 64.8 in, which means here we need 696.4 gallons of water. We got in 8.5 gallons of that atrazine before we had a problem, so we need to put in 11.5 more. And then we hadn't yet got to the last 2 products in the batch, and so we'll just leave those at the full volume because that's what we need in order to finish that batch. So that's how we set it up using the individual volume mode to recover from a problem. At this point in time then, I would be ready to transition back to the run screen, and pushing start will pick us back up right where we left off and complete the batch and have the sprayer mixed correctly.